been a while since we've spoken. There's been huge amounts going on inside NIBA, broadly across the industry and certainly across the world. We're in the midst of the federal election campaign, lots of policy announcements, lots of things going on. NIBA's really delighted to host our election breakfast coming up on Thursday the 1st of May. This is going to be a really good opportunity to hear from Minister Jones, from one of the independents in New South Wales, Ali Steggall, and from Senator Bragg from the Liberal Party, just to really hear and unpack some of their policy positions a couple of days out from the election. Really a great crowd in. But more broadly on the representation side of NIBA, with Alyssa's help and the Reg Affairs Committee, we've been knee-deep in submissions. I think we're up to 7 or 8 submissions this year already. Just recently, last Friday, we appeared before the ACT Government Committee on affordability of insurance, really trying to unpack the drivers and implications and impacts that it's having on businesses across the ACT. There are plenty of other regulatory conversations that are going on, both with AFCA, with ASIC and so on. So really engaged at the moment. And of course, when the new government forms, we're going to be spending a lot of time politically meeting new parliamentarians, new ministers, new shadows, and so on. One of the other really important conversations we've been having recently is in the workers' compensation space, both in Western Australia and in New South Wales. Had a really productive meeting with WorkCover in WA with the newly appointed Brett and Nikita and team, and engaged really well with the CEO and Rebecca Harris on a lot of the key issues that have been facing the workers' compensation sector in Western Australia and how that transition is working, how the change is going. Similarly, in New South Wales, there's been new leadership appointed into iCare. We're in the process of reaching out and both working with CIRA and iCare to kind of work effectively within the workers' compensation field here in New South Wales as well. Code continues apace. We're now well down the track into phase 2 of the NIBA code review, remembering that phase 1 was an opportunity to engage informally. Phase 2 very much about a more formal engagement. We've run now 3 different workshops. There's a submission paper that's been up for discussion. Already a lot of submissions are coming to the table. Going to be a really important discussion for NIBA at our upcoming 1st of May board meeting, but certainly into the back end of the year. Codes again are a really important part of self-leadership and industry leadership, and this process is obviously well and truly leading that discussion really, really well. The other interesting piece around professionalism across the sector that the NIBA board is steering into is starting to spend much more time on this idea and the focus of education. What does the broker of the future look like from an education perspective? What's the right level and the right benchmark? Of course, the members have told us at NIBA that education and advocacy are the 2 really most important topics to focus on. That's been verified last year at both convention and a lot of the research that we've done. And so at a board level, we're starting to think, well, what does that actually mean? And what does the future look like for our education conversation? The NIBA community has been very, very active over the last couple of months. The NIBA mentoring program is getting close to its completion. I've sat in and spoken to and heard from lots of members who are really engaged in it. It's such a powerful part of what NIBA does. So thank you to the mentors and the mentees and to all the people who are supporting that program. Really, really valuable. Over and above that, there have been state events taking place right around the country. Fantastic session last week in New South Wales with the YPs about the future of broking, tapping into the experience of some of the really experienced people around the marketplace. We're about to open up the ACT or reopen the ACT. Again, a large piece of work about how does NIBA get present in the regions. And so this regional approach and the state approach is just making sure that NIBA is always present, always in the regions, always with something that's relevant, timely and topical. At a national level, there are a couple of really big events coming through. Of course, the very famous and fabulous gala lunches are well down the track. We're close to 80% full. So if you do want to register, please reach out. We're looking to see how we can innovate, really keen to bring in much more community and charitable partner into the way we do gala lunches, as well as celebrating, connecting, networking and awarding. NIBA convention is now well and truly down the track. The numbers are really starting to build beautifully. The program's in really good shape, firming up big name speakers, curating sessions that really challenge brokers, really think about and unpacking what does success look like for the broking sector into 2025 out to 2050, with a little bit of a retrospective as well. Something really in it for everybody. Again, encouraging you, take advantage of the early bird offer. Is going to expire at the end of May. Lots in the pipeline, lots of planning going on, and we're really looking forward to seeing you somewhere in your state, at your event, certainly at the gala lunches. The NIBA board is really focused, the NIBA team is in really good stead, and of course somewhat difficult market conditions and some geopolitical headwinds, but I think overall NIBA's purpose and focus is to try and navigate through the noise, to try and deliver value for members and to connect with you wherever you are across the country. Thank you.